In the early 60s, many women have jobs, but on average, most earn 2/3 of what men earn for the same work. Most working women are single. A female boss is a rare bird indeed. Doris Anderson wants to be editor of Chatelaine magazine, but it looks as if a man will get the job.
They thought, oh, well, she's getting married and she'll be quitting, but I said I want the job and I'm not going to work for anyone else, so they gave me the job.
A year later, she is pregnant. It's considered inappropriate for an obviously pregnant woman to be at work. Her boss feels businessmen working in the same building will be embarrassed by her presence. To keep her job, Doris promises to be discreet.
I'll come and go at odd hours, so I won't be too conspicuous.
But even that won't do. She keeps the job, but she can't be seen.
I worked from home. The staff was running back and forth in cabs with layouts and photographs and artwork. It was ridiculous.
The next time she's pregnant, she tells no one. When her boss inevitably notices, he confronts her.
He said, "When are you going home?" I said, "I'm going home the day after I have this baby." He threw up his hands and didn't do anything about it. By the time I had my third child, there were pregnant women all over McLean Hunter.
Life is even tougher for women in politics. In the last 40 years, a handful of women have been elected to office. It's 1957 before a woman, Ellen Fairclough, becomes a federal cabinet minister. In Quebec, women face unusual hurdles. In 1961, lawyer Claire Kirkland-Casgrain is the first woman elected to the legislature.
I was considered a bit of a novelty. Who was this woman who had dared to run for a political party and had managed to get elected? What did she have to say? What did she think? And unfortunately, what will she wear?
Fashion is the least of her problems. She needs to rent an apartment in Quebec City. But as a married woman, she has the same legal status as a child. The landlord won't deal with her.
My husband had to sign the contract to make it legal. I was a member of the legislature and a lawyer, but I could not sign a lease.
Under Quebec's civil code, married women are deemed incapable. They cannot open a bank account or authorize medical care for their children. Claire Kirkland-Casgrain now can do something about that.
Cette notion de la puissance paternelle est dépassée depuis longtemps et qu'il est temps de lui substituer un concept nouveau, celui de la puissance parentale, qui viendra consacrer le caractère d'association, le caractère de partnership qui doit exister entre l'homme et la femme au sein d'une famille bien organisée.
She gets the law changed. By 1964, married women in Quebec are no longer treated as minors. But it's science that will truly revolutionize women's lives. In 1961, a new pill appears on the Canadian market. Officially, the pill is prescribed to regulate the menstrual cycle. But its inventor, Dr. John Rock, concedes it does have other side effects.
The pill can be used for its other effects to relieve several common complaints of women. If unfortunately in doing this, the woman becomes infertile while she's taking the pill, well, that's too bad. And no matter how pleased she is to be infertile.
There is good reason to be cautious. It is illegal in Canada to promote or to give out any information about birth control. The same year the pill becomes available, Toronto pharmacist Harold Fine is sentenced to a month in jail or a $100 fine for distributing birth control information. The Catholic Church condemns both birth control and abortion under pain of excommunication. Many women don't know where to turn. In 1962, a young mother who wants to remain anonymous is in trouble. She lives near Toronto and has 6 children. Her doctor is a practicing Catholic, so she doesn't dare ask him for the pill. Pregnant again, she panics.
Our youngest daughter was 2 years old. I felt as if I could see the light at the end of the tunnel. I was 32. I felt that we had enough children. I thought, I can't do this. I just felt mentally and physically exhausted. I was devastated.
She looks for a doctor willing to do an abortion. All she can find is advice from a neighbor who is a medical intern.
He said, this is a very dangerous thing to do. You could have an embolism. He said you could try many, many douches with soap suds. All I was thinking about was, I'm not going to go through with this pregnancy.
For the next 3 days, once every hour, she gambles with her life.
I was crazy. I never should have done it. A couple of my kids were home. In desperate situations, women do desperate things. I was thinking, I've got to keep doing this until something happens. When I saw the menstrual blood, I was so happy and relieved. If it had been feasible, I would have opened the bathroom window and shouted, I'm not pregnant!
She is by no means alone. It is estimated that in 1963, some 75,000 Canadian women, most of them housewives, had illegal abortions. Nearly half were in Toronto. In the 1960s, about 120 women die of abortions. Each year, more than 30,000 women require hospital treatment as a result of an abortion. The women's movement will make access to legal abortions its next big battle.